Welcome to the Mind Gains podcast. Today, I'm joined by Brando Hasick. Brando is an extremely successful entrepreneur in the fitness industry. He has built a successful gym chain from the ground up at the beginning, literally sleeping on the gym floor to make it work. This is a great listen for anyone looking for motivation and inspiration. Enjoy the chat. Here's Brando. All right, Brando Hasick, welcome, mate. Thank you for coming aboard.
Thanks for having me.
Mate, pleasure. Absolutely welcome anytime. I know when I sort of first started this, I was sort of mapping out the people, just the connections I had and people I've sort of, I guess, got to know over the years, and definitely someone I've admired in business and had a lot of similar interests. So I know we've had a lot of fun conversations, probably more so on nights out than anything else. But mate, definitely someone I'm intrigued to sit down and spin a few yarns with.
Thank you. I was happy for the call up.
Yeah, so, mate, I guess, like, first things first, probably have a bit of a chat, and I don't even know if you really remember this. We're just having a quick chat beforehand, but we actually were both junior cricketers, or thought we were, and we actually played our first ever rep cricket game against each other. I think we were both captain too.
Yeah,
which is funny.
Represent.
Hawkesbury, yeah, I was Central Coast, so that's interesting. That's funny how things sort of map back around, and you became mates with one of my best mates who was my old housemate, Blake, and you know we sort of reconnected and had a few nights out from there,
didn't we?
And I guess that's kind of where we'll start to we just connected and had a few chats about business and different things, and I guess that's kind of where we ended up here. And so mate, if you can give us an idea, your business, what you do, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so a couple now, busier than I'd like to be, but we'll get to that. We're trying to downsize the number of things that we're doing, but the story was started as a sports scientist, went to uni, was going to go into physio, and then started training people. I got my Cert 3 and 4 and started training people and enjoyed that.
45?
Started at a place called Vision, doing some personal training. I moved to the city, was in Rose Bay, did my 9-week sort of stint there. They make you do an onboarding. Yep. And then a mate of mine opened up an F45 and he's like, come work for me. But it was back out in the hills.
Oh, and you moved in the city.
Yeah, so I moved into the city, obviously for the lifestyle, but I was driving out to the hills every day. So that was my first real crack at it. It was really fun at the time. I didn't know much better. And then started doing it, met a few people, and fell in love with training and thought I could make it a career. So that's where it sort of kicked off. And at our peak, I had 5 gyms. Now I currently got 3. And then that sort of led into a few different things. So now I'm business consulting for other gym owners is where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's interesting. So going back to that, let's get a bit more granular with the detail. So, kind of want to hear the story around, how you got to the position where you can own 5 gyms. Essentially, that's a massive thing. And you had hundreds of members in each one, right?
Yeah, we're cranking just before COVID, and probably just after COVID was our biggest year. So the depth of it was, I always do this, I skim over it.
Yeah, that's right. But you were sleeping on your gym floor and stuff, weren't you, at the start?
The one at Dural. The one in Dural. That's where I was sleeping at there because I was 45. Doing, at the time it seemed like such a good wicket. The guy, Greg, he's still a good mate of mine. He gave me the job and said he'll pay me $650 a week in cash in hand. I was like, fucking oath, because I was only making, I think, $250 at Vision on the mentorship. They give you 12 hours at $25 an hour, whatever that works out to be. And then he told me $650 and I was like, sweet. But then,
I don't think it's that much more, is it?
6, I don't know. It's probably not that much more, but it seemed cooler.
Yeah.
But I had to drive an hour each way. So from Coogee to Dural, leaving at 4:30, I think I'd leave to get there just before the 5:30 class. And then the last class finished at 7:30. So a lot of the time, it just didn't make commercial sense for me to drive home, both time and energy, but the tolls were killing me.
Petrol.
So I couldn't even afford to drive home sometimes. So I'd sleep on the floor, wake up, do the class, and then eventually I was like, we need to change this up. So I worked out a deal with Greg. Oh, sorry, I skipped a step. I started doing PT from the gym, and then I was like, I could probably do this from my backyard. Use from my backyard. It was a 5x5 meter slab, concrete. And I was like, I could put some
so this
mats.
is the one in Clovelly?
Clovelly, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I put some mats down there. When I bought some gear, I think I had maybe saved up, my life savings at the time was $6-7 grand. Went and spent about $5 grand of it on equipment. And then through mates of a mate, this guy had a gym in Hobart, and he was now starting to teach people how to run their gym. And so a mate put me in contact with him, and had a call with him. Didn't realize it was a sales call at the time, but he wrote me into spending my last $6,000 that I didn't even have.
But so with that piece, wasn't it $2K to get on the call with him?
It was free to get on the call,
Okay.
and then it was $6,000 to do this 6-week course.
Okay.
I got pretty swindled. And it was like a Tony Robbins moment. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
fuck, do you want this or not? Do you want to be big? And I was like, oh yeah, I do. And he's like, oh, give us your credit card details now, type thing. And I was like, all right, sweet. So we did that.
Decline.
Yeah, probably declined. And then I had buyer's remorse after, and I tried to back out of the sale. And he said, I've already taken the $2,000. How about I do this? I can either take the $2,000 and you don't do the course and never speak again, or I'll do a deal where you can do the course, and then when you start making some money, you can pay me back. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a sweet deal. So took him up on that, went and bought the equipment, and he taught me how to do Facebook ads, which was like probably the biggest thing that's helped me to date, because I still do them and I still do marketing. So it was like my intro to marketing, and luckily put some ads out, got about 3 or 4 clients on the back of it. So I just started training them in my backyard, grew it to like 15 clients, I suppose, doing them, rain, hail, shine. And eventually we got rained on for 2 weeks straight in the middle of winter, 6 a.m. session. These clients were like, oh, come on, bro, this sucks. Like, you've got to do something. So I was stressed, and I was like, I've got no backup plan now.
Yeah.
So I started doing it. So I did Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at home, and I was on Monday, Wednesday, Friday for F45.
Yeah.
And trying to get to that point where I could take the leap of faith and go, see you later, F45. I'm now doing it at home. So yeah, took the leap, and then doing it all every day in the backyard. Got rained on, and then I had to find a space. I almost got one down at Coogee above the bank there. There was a space going.
At Combank?
I think so. Yeah, Combank, or the NAB down the road.
Merco.
It was just, luckily I didn't, because it was an old restaurant and it wouldn't have worked out. Like, we would have deadlifted through the floor and ended up in the fucking bank. But luckily the guy that got me the F45 job had a mate in Paddington, and he was like, there's a shed there, you can come and rent that for $300 a week. And it was dodgy as, like, it was.
So where was that from, the other shed, the other Paddington gym you
had? Across the little laneway.
Oh, okay.
So that's how the entry was. So
okay. And what'd you call it?
The shred shed. Yeah. It was shredded. Got everyone shredded. So took that on. It was like a, 3 meter by 8 meter shed. Painted it fucking aggressive teal for some stupid reason. It was my favourite colour at the time. So
kept you in the business though,
yeah,
right?
it was still that bright teal. Got some members, changed the model slightly. So we started doing groups of 8 on 1. So like, it's almost like a small CrossFit gym model. And that just sort of went gangbusters. I was, Instagram was pretty fresh at the time. I think it was 2015 I started doing this. Yeah. And I just started posting on Instagram because I wanted to sort of confirm that I knew what I was talking about. And
you grew pretty quickly for that time though, right? Didn't you?
At the time, I grew to 5 or 10K pretty quick, which was pretty cool. And then I stumbled there. I got a bit of a name for myself in there, helping people with mobility. Yeah. And so it grew pretty quick, got to like 40, 50 members.
So can you talk, just to quickly, can you touch on the model? So
the model at the time was we did 2 morning classes, a mid-morning class, and then 2 afternoon classes.
But it's not just like standard gym stuff though, right? Like it's sort of more CrossFit and mobility. So do you want to describe that a little bit?
Yeah, so we did it. So for the CrossFit model, it's generally like a warm-up, a strength piece, and then a conditioning piece. And we stuck with that because after I was doing all the learning, like F45 was really starting to kick off. But I just didn't like the model of like you do a HIIT day and then you do a strength day. I like the model of being able to do something every day that you can sort of maintain it. So, and then I was really big on being able to help people produce strength through a large range of motion, because that's the key to longevity, right? Like if you can't move through a large range of motion, there's something blocking you. And if you just ignore it for a long time, it's going to get worse. So if you can control your body.
Is this a passion sort of thing through your own experiences, or is it?
Yeah, actually it definitely is, because I was, we played sport together. We thought we were killing it when we were younger, but I never sort of made that next level of sport because I'd get injured a lot. I have like a hypermobility, like I'm really flexible, and it's a double-edged sword because yes, it helps you move well, but you're really prone to injuries because things just, fuck out. Yeah. So that sort of became a passion because I wanted to do the physio, and I was like, hang on, rather than waiting for people to get injured, how about I help
prevent them?
Yeah, not get injured in the first place, and it might help someone achieve their goals because I never sort of got to achieve mine. So that's where it came from.
Yeah, cool. So back to the gym. So you've got the shred shed, you've got your a few members in there, you're killing it. What happened then?
And then, yeah, I got a bit ambitious. The guy that owned
This is the good bit.
the business across the road. So I had the shred shed, and you can imagine like there's a driveway between the shred shed and the actual gym that he had. He didn't own the building; he just leased it, but he had a business. And his model was he had like 5 or 6 PTs in there paying rent, and about 100 members that would pay the $10 a week. So it was like a anytime fitness model, but just full ghetto. Like I'm talking, like it was full ghetto. Spray paint on the walls. It was like spiders everywhere. Like it was dodgy as. And I was like, you know what? He wanted to open F45 up the road, and he wanted to sell that business. I was like, I can move in there, kick everyone out, and just double what I'm doing on a bigger scale and just make more money. So, yeah, we started the chats, and he wanted, I think, 150 grand for me to buy out the revenue that he was making. I talked him down to 60, I think. It was my first negotiation. I nailed it.
That sales course paying for itself,
yeah, exactly right. Paid for itself.
Where'd you pull 60 from?
Yeah, I don't know. I just sort of said, this is all I can give you.
Yeah, okay.
I had 30 grand cash at the time, and I said, I'll give you 30K tomorrow, and I'll give you 30K. I'll give you $1,000 a week for 30 weeks. And he was like, yep, sweet, deal. He was happy to get out, I think.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, long story short, did it. And I think day one, I've sort of cut the gym in half. I literally went out and bought one of those divider things and put it straight down the gym. And I was like, this is my side for Body by Brando. You guys that are paying your gym membership, you can have that side. And people hated me. They were just off it because obviously their gym's just been halved and they're still paying membership. But I didn't really give a fuck. Hey, I was like, I'm doing this. This is my jam. It went really, really well. And week by week, I'd just kick out one trainer.
Yeah, okay.
So I just sort of say, look, there's not enough space here now. Like, we're going to take that corner now, and kept the ones I liked.
So the members building pretty quickly at this time?
On the BBB side, the Body by Brando side, we were getting to 50, 60, 70 members pretty quick, and classes were booking out. It was good fun.
How? Because it was like you're obviously offering a premium service, but it was also premium pricing, right? So can you give us insight into like how negotiating that kind of was, going from people paying $10 a week to paying how much were they paying?
They didn't. A lot of those guys didn't convert. It was all like brand new members. So we were just like, attrition on that side, but I didn't care because I was losing a $10 member, gaining a $100 member. So we were expensive. I think we started at $89 a week when CrossFit used to be $65 a week.
Yeah.
So we were always higher, and again that course paid for itself because he just said, if you charge what everyone else is charging, you're not going to differentiate yourself. People will get curious when you charge more. And so I'll just charge more, and from day one, like, people were curious what we did and they loved it. So
I like that mindset too, because you kind of, in a way, you're backing you have a belief in your service, right? Like you have a belief in the product that you're providing the clients and the public. So you've sort of gone in and gone, I believe in this. I know this is a more premium service. I'm going to charge a more premium price, and you guys are going to pay it.
Exactly right. And being brand new, like, I probably shouldn't have. Like, I don't know where the confidence came from. I was just a cocky little fucker and just said, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm the best, so I'm going to charge the most. Yeah. And it obviously paid off pretty well.
Yeah, cool. So with that's just to touch on that quickly. So self-belief, do you think, is that coming from, because it's not necessarily something that happens naturally, and neither does that strive to want to go bigger and bigger and want to, not get disheartened by making mistakes and different things like that. You had that belief in your own ability that, like, you had the most premium service, you could provide the most premium opportunities and different things, and you were going to make your life up here.
Yeah.
So where do you think is that from junior sport and being good when you were younger, or is it you were talking about your son's mentality earlier?
Yeah, it must come from junior sport. Like, I was always confident back then that I could carry the team. I was always part of a team, and not saying that I was the one that made we won a lot of grand finals, but I was always just part of a culture of, like, we're going to win and we're going to succeed.
Yeah.
And whether or not that sort of helped other people then play their best or whatever, but I don't really know how to answer it. It's just been something I just always dream big and make shit work. It's just something I like doing.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So, like, back to the gym. So, like, you're at a point where you've halved off the gym, you're charging that $89 a week, you're growing to 60, 70 members. So where to from there? I think we get into a bit of adversity.
We kept growing. We got to like 100 members, and I think by that stage I was sort of like, you can only do the $10 gym in non-peak time. So we had our class timetable and pretty much said, if you come during those times, you're not going to be let in. Like we're doing our thing. So the numbers on the other side slowly dribbled off, but we still kept, I think, 3 or 4 PTs. Now the best part about that was the PTs were paying the money like on day one. I was pretty much profitable from day one because I had the money coming in from the PTs and the money coming in from the groups. So it was a pretty lucrative business. The rent was, dirt cheap for Paddington, and we just made it work. And then we got to about 100 members, and I was like, this is too easy. I want to fucking just take over the world, put gyms on every corner. So I, one came up for rent in Artarmon, and it was a second story in the bumfuck nowhere of Artarmon.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I sort of knew deep down that it was going to be a struggle, but I was sort of also pretty confident that I'd make it work. So I took the lease on, and then I only had myself because I was doing almost every session at the time, and I had a few staff. Dan was there and another guy called Heath. Between the three of us, we were running all the sessions at Paddington, and I didn't even hire anyone else to come over to Artarmon. So there was 3 staff trying to run 2 gyms. And now, like when I look at it, it's funny because we have like 4 or 5 staff at each gym.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't really know how to market that well at the time compared to what I know now. And so we took on Artarmon, and within about 6 months, I had 23 members, I think, and it wasn't enough to keep paying. So I just made the call to break lease, paid a bit of money, took all the equipment. Luckily, the Paddington needed an upgrade, so I sort of didn't really bruise my ego too much because I just saw it as like, oh, well, just needed new equipment, so we'll chalk it up as a small loss.
Mate, that's a big lesson though. Like you've taken an L and turned it into a lesson with, being able to just go, oh, sweet, well, I can just essentially upgrade.
Yeah, just upgrade, yeah. Could have seen it, like it could have disheartened me a lot, and it was close to 100K probably of equipment that I, could have written up as a loss, but I was like, to see the silver lining of it. I learnt a lot. But that gave me a bit of doubt for the next 2 years, so we consolidated and just pumped at Paddington, and we got it close to 200 members and just making buckets. It was cool. And then...
And what, the rent was still the same, or had it gone up?
Rent stayed the same, eh? It was $1,000 a week, which is stupid because now we're paying like $3,000 to $4,000 a week at some of our spaces. Wow. It makes it real hard to make money.
Yeah.
And then a gym came up. It was a CrossFit gym in Waterloo called Ignite, one of the early gyms. And I was like, all right, I'm ready to go again. I think I've learnt my lesson. I've systemised. I got real anal about systemising the business. And I was Google Doc on everything, how to open the gym, how to do a class.
Awesome.
And I got really systemised with it. And it's sort of, it was a really good lesson.
Setting up frameworks though, right?
Yeah, because I was like, well, I need to, I'm good at my classes, but if I hire a coach, I need to make sure they're good at their classes too, and this is what they need to do. So
is this lessons from that failing the first gym and the different ways to go about it?
Yeah, pretty much. Just, how to, and I just sort of, because I worked at Macca's when I was really young, I really loved the way that they systemize it. So I just pretty much took that model, and I wanted an operations manual. I was like, this is how you do it.
Perfect.
Do it like me. And that was sort of what we did. So that's definitely a massive thing that helped over the years. And then, took on Waterloo. That almost failed before it began as well because they were a gym. They were doing individual programming, which is you can essentially come in, you've got a program, but you can train at any time and there'll be a coach floating around.
Okay.
Weird model, but he was charging the same. So he made it work. He was doing about $250,000 a year profit. So he wanted me to give him $750 to buy the gym. And I was like, fuck, I think I had $400,000 in savings at the time because not a bad little saver. I just don't spend money. I like making it and don't spend it.
Yeah.
So I was like 26 or something, and I had a bit of cash sitting around, and I said, and I had a client that helped me negotiate. So I offered him $200 for his $700,000 gym, and then he ended up we settled on $250. So a year's worth of profit up front, and he got out and he was happy. I was happy. So took in, but the model, I had to change it because we were group classes and they weren't. And as soon as we changed it to group classes, they went from 150 members, I think, down to like 39. I remember seeing 39 members on my books.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, fuck, I've done it now. Fuck, another gym. I'm 250 in the hole.
So who are you leaning on? Because it can't be an easy, one, for the ego, but two, just in terms of, so it's all the same thing, but like confidence and just far out. Maybe my model isn't that good.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I started doubting, and I was like, oh, maybe it is just reliant on me type business. It's not going to be a thing where you can scale it. And I was sort of like licking my wounds going, all right, 2 from 2 here. It's pretty obvious that Paddington works because I'm there a lot.
Yep.
As soon as I split my time, it's not working without me. And then we did a bit of a marketing campaign and, picked up 20 clients from it. So that turned it around, and then we got a bit of confidence back, and then it came into summer and we got close to 100. And I was like, all right, cool, we're on here.
Sweet.
Hired some good staff, and then we,
What was the rent like there?
Yeah, it is pretty expensive there.
Okay.
It's up around the 160s, 170s now. So it was 120 back then, maybe it's.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a lot more risk there. So so that went well. And then, so did that, and then had a really good year before COVID, and then COVID happened, and that was fucking shit scary, and then came out of that okay, like found a few loopholes with not having to pay BAS for a year or two, which put a bit of money in the skyrocket, which was cool. And then the 2 years after COVID, we just went gangbusters.
Yeah, so talk us through that, because I know you got pretty creative in terms of resources and different things throughout COVID. Like, can you talk us around, like, I know you were renting out equipment and individualizing programs, and your coaches had regimented things. Like, can you talk us through a bit of that?
Yeah.
Because initially, sorry, just before you go, like, what was your mindset and your thinking straight away when we went into lockdown and you were like, shit, there's my business?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I did that for about 2 minutes, and I was like, you got 2 options. You either be a victim or
swim.
You do something about it. And I think I did the whole like, oh no, life's over, this is shit for 2 minutes. I was like, you know what? Come up with a plan. Called a team meeting, got everyone in, did a bit of a Wolf of Wall Street speech, and was like, we've got 2 options here. We either all lose our jobs or we figure something out to make it work. And I came up with the idea to rent out the equipment to all the members. They all got either a dumbbell each or a barbell with plates, and sort of just said, we're going to be individualizing your program. You can't go anywhere anyway. You might as well train. You got nothing else you can do. We'll do your nutrition. We'll call you. We'll do some classes via Zoom, and you'll get equipment, and we'll keep charging the same. And we pretty much retain like 70% of payments. Some people cancelled because they thought they were losing their jobs too. So they were like, fuck this. But we ended up having a really good community because of it, and the coaches loved it. I told them I'd pay them no matter what. So they hung around, which was good. And then the loyalty on the back of it. So then we came out of COVID just swinging.
Hit the ground running.
Yeah, it was good.
Unreal. So then everyone just sort of gave back the equipment, and it was just back to business
over the weekend. Like once we got the all clear to start Monday, it sort of, it didn't go straight back, obviously, because there were stages, wasn't there? So we had this space outside. This is probably pretty, intuitive. We had this space outside.
Yeah, because it was the school there, right?
Yeah, the school and the tennis courts.
Yeah, there was heaps of room.
And the rule was you couldn't be within 1.5 metres of someone. So it was like a 20-metre strip of concrete. So what I did was I made it like a driving range.
Yeah, okay.
So every day there was 10 stations, and I said we'd run a class every hour on the hour from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. So you could have 120 people come and do a session. And the coach would stand out in the middle, and then we'd do the session, and you'd stay in the one spot. So we'd bring out dumbbells, make it all dumbbell workouts.
Yeah.
And the classes were just booked out.
How good's that?
Yeah, it was such a cool thing. And like the cops came, and the cops were like, there's nothing, they got called every day. And they're like, stop ringing us, because these guys are doing the right thing. They're spraying equipment. Like, it was a really cool.
When the first couple of times they came down, were you packing
I was
it?
like, fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
But no, it was, it was pretty ingenious, which was lucky. So yeah, we got through pretty unscathed. And we started picking up a lot of members too, because other people couldn't. Unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
They had a gym that they couldn't do anything with. So other people were sort of leaving their gyms and then coming across. A lot of people just packed it in and put their hands in the air and said, too hard basket. Not kind of, stop charging their members, and just we'll deal with it when it finishes. And I was like, fuck that, I've got shit to do.
So where do you think that, like that, I guess that little bit of growth mindset that you've sort of displayed there, where do you think that sort of come from? Is that?
I have a real strong hate for losing it and victim status.
Yeah.
I just can't stand it. So I try and just do the exact opposite.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's sort of like, I just don't like when someone's like, oh, what about me? So like, I just make sure that I never say that, because that'd make me feel real weak.
Yeah, cool. Do you, obviously you're a father now, is that something that you're trying to instill in your sons, or are they naturally providing that, or?
Yeah, Rupees, he's picked it up really quick. Like he's so aggressive in the wanting to win all the time. With like, I don't try and push him into it or anything like that, but he's just naturally, don't help me, I want to figure it out on my own. So we just let him. Like we really treat him like a little dude not like a little baby, and he just froths it. Like he's very independent.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
great.
Cool. So obviously we come off the back of COVID. Gyms are flourishing. You've hit the ground running off the back of it. Talk me through then. So you obviously start to extend into other businesses and different things.
Yeah, I had started saving some money. Like I said, I was a bit of a tight ass, so I was renting a spot for $300 a week for majority of that time, and then my wife now, Asha, she moved in probably 7 or 8 years ago, and we kept that room together for about 5 years. So I was paying $150 a week rent. I was working from 5 a.m. till 7 p.m. So I wasn't spending money. I don't spend that much money. So just kept saving because I like having the opportunity when things come up to be able to do it, and then a gym did come up in North Sydney. Really good deal, 95 grand for a gym that's in a great spot. So I just leapt at that and I was like, cool, we've got 2 now. Let's get our third. Stupidly, again, it wasn't the same business model. So when I bought that, it fucking tanked in the first few months and had to claw my way out of a hole again. I was like, why do I keep doing this to myself? Love the chaos.
Is it like, did you take on the staff as well, or is it you?
That one, nothing. That one was brand new. That was a tough one. But I had a manager from Waterloo. A staff member who wanted to manage. So I said, this is your chance, bro. You got to do it. He's now the owner of that gym. I've sold it to him in the meantime. Awesome. So he's doing really well. Yes, took on North Sydney, and then that's when I started going, cool, I'm not doing as much coaching now. Like I've been doing it for 8 years or so, and it's pretty relentless to be up that early every day. And then the opportunity just came really because I was had a bit of success with the gyms. People wanted to know how to do it.
Yeah, okay.
It's just like natural progression. They're like, you've got 3 gyms.
Yeah,
I want to open my first.
Yeah.
And you seem to be doing all right. What are you doing? And then we started marketing that we can help you with your gyms because my business partner now is a weapon at marketing.
Yeah.
So I was the systems guy, he's the marketing guy. We teamed up and told people we could help them make more money and have more time.
Yeah, cool.
So I started a business called Kaizen, which currently it's only for gym owners that want to systemize, but we want to move into other businesses.
Yeah. Okay. So to summarize that a little bit, like you've made a lot of mistakes, build up businesses from the ground up, then tanked them, brought them back from the dead through systems.
Yeah.
And now you've built that system into a business where you can teach people how to build those systems.
Yeah. And that's why I think you asked me before whether it's ego that I sort of put to the side when I'm, constantly having losses, and I always just chalk them up as like a lesson, like fail fast and learn from it. Mm-hmm. Because so far, every time I've failed, I've just moved on really quickly and just I try not to dwell on it too much. And then an opportunity seems to pop up. I wouldn't be able to be a business coach if I didn't have some L's to my name. Like if everything was easy, you wouldn't know how to fix shit when it goes wrong. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I just know that there's always going to be something on the other side.
Love it. It's a great mentality. So I kind of want to go back and just sort of, we sort of glossed over it a little bit, but the Brando that I met had this massive hustle mentality. It's like hardest worker in the room, all those cliches things you want to say.
Yeah.
Can you give us an idea into that mindset? Because you sort of mentioned you were working 5 a.m. to 7 p.m., things like that. You were jumping at opportunities, you were working your ass off. Can you sort of give us insight into that mentality? And then I guess how your mentality's evolved now that your family's sort of growing and different things, and how different things have become a priority.
Yeah, I think, that's always been something. I try and make out like I make things look easy. Like when someone's looking, you try and pretend like you're not really working that hard. And as soon as the camera's off, it's like there's a different side that I just work hard and I work fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do try and make things look easy from the outside looking in, because someone's always like, you never really work. Like mum still thinks I don't work. She's like, hey, do you mind coming and taking me here Tuesday at like 11 a.m? I do fucking work. I know I pretend like I put up stories on my Instagram saying that I'm surfing, but I'll like sneak that in. I'll get up at 3 a.m. so I can go for a surf at 11 a.m. Like shit like that. So I'm always trying to squeeze more in if I can. And that sort of started from a young age. I was always 2-3 jobs on the go, even during the HSC or in uni. I think I was working 40, 50 hours a week and studying, like just trying to fit it all in.
Yeah, okay.
Not enough hours in the day.
Yeah.
Is that the question?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. But I guess, Yeah, I guess like, do you think that sort of mentality came from, is it like mentors? Is it a podcast? Is it reading books? Is it where you sort of drawing that inspiration to kind of that grind and
True.
then, because as I said, there's a lot of cliche words like your growth mindset and your hardest work in the room, grind mentality sort of thing that you kind of epitomize a little bit. Well, not a little bit, you kind of all abide by all those rules without saying it. Where does this sort of come from? Is it from junior sport? Is it from?
Probably.
Do you know what I mean? Like, is there lessons like, you might have had a string of low scores in cricket or whatever? How do you sort of climb yourself out of that hole? Like,
I think it would have started at a young age. It's more so I just love winning, and I talk about this with my psych a lot. He's sort of like trying to dive into what it is, because I'm always like looking for something else, and it's like I do like the idea of winning, and I like the idea of like the people that you meet when you are winning. So it's just always been that if you do more, you have more opportunities. And my dad and mum were both really hard workers, so I sort of just got it from them that that's what you do, you grind. And then sport, there's a correlation between how much work you put in and how good you are, right?
100%.
So I just see the correlation. And then when it did come to the business stage, I did really go hard on self-development books. Like I've got probably hundreds of them and read most of them. I don't like the really aspirational ones like the Tony Robbins and that. Like I like the granular ones.
I reckon you did when you were younger.
I probably did read something along those lines.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't need the help on that side.
Yeah.
So I don't really like.
Yeah.
Like, who needs help with motivation?
You're
Like I've already got
the stars.
I already know where I want to get to. Just give me the strategies on how to get there. Not like come on guys, believe in yourself.
I already believe in myself.
I already believe it. I just need to fucking figure out how to get there fast.
Yeah.
Like yesterday.
Love it.
So yeah, I think definitely reading, like a lot of things early on helped. But there was a few, not mentors, they were just clients. Like early on in business, I was lucky to have a client. We got along really well. We're still mates now. And he come in one day when I was still in my backyard, I remember it, and he told me that he had $100,000 bonus. I was like, you got $100,000 bonus? What do you do for work? And he started telling me about stock trading and stuff. I was like, holy shit, that's how much money you make? So what are you on per salary? He's like, oh, salary's not great, but... And then 3 months later, he's like, got another bonus. How much? He goes, $250. I was like, holy fuck, what are you doing to make $250 bonus? Anyway, he obviously worked his way up. He was a Navy SEAL before that, and then switched across to trading. And then he rang me. I was in Puerto Rico at the time because I went there for a holiday with some mates, and he rang me. He was on the piers. And I was like, what up? He goes, oh, I just want to let you know I got my first 7-figure bonus. And I was like, what the fuck? 7-figure bonus, like $1 million in a bonus. So it was having him that whole time. All we talked about was money when I was training him. So I'd train him and he'd teach me about money, and like just he was happy to chat and I was happy to listen. Just like mental note, write that down.
Yeah.
And then I just sort of set the ceiling really high of like, well, fuck, he can do it.
Yeah, why can't I?
I want to do it too. So like for me, I remember setting a target of I want my first $5,000 week. Then I remember setting a target of like I want my first $10,000 week, and if I get it, I'll buy myself a watch. And it was a tag. I wanted this tag. I did it. It took ages for me to buy it because I was like, you don't deserve it. Like, you don't deserve that watch. And then
it was a tag you had. I don't think I saw your other Rolex.
Yeah, I think we would have talked about it.
Yeah.
And then it was end up setting a target. If I ever hit $100,000 in a month, I'd buy myself a Rolex. And I did it. And I was like, and then I had a psych at the time, and she goes, you got to fucking do it. Come buy the Rolex. So I did that, and that was cool.
Yeah, cool. And then how'd you get this one?
Oh, I just wanted this one, so I just swapped it.
Okay.
Now it's a bit different.
I
probably should set something.
So did you have a similar thing in terms of buying your house or your investment properties now? Or?
Well, the house is a bit of it almost didn't happen. Like we wanted a house, and then this is the FTX story that we've talked about. Is so yeah.
Let's actually
let's go there.
Let's go there. So, essentially, what year was this?
I think it was 2021 or 2 when it crashed.
No, when did you buy in?
Oh, 2020 maybe.
Okay, so 2020 you had just a little bit of spare cash lying around.
Yeah.
Talk us through this.
So the client that I told you about, the one that was making millions, he started getting into Bitcoin at the time, and he was like, you should do it. And I was like, oh, it seems risky and all that stuff. And anyway, he's like, no, it's safe as houses. Like it's pretty cheap now. It's going to go to the moon. This was before anyone was doing it. And he said, I've got all my money there if it makes you feel any better. So I was like, all right, cool. So I had a measly little $600,000 laying around. So I just...
Say it a bit louder.
I put that It was in the bank, and I just
How do you have that laying around?
yeah, like I said, I
Just
just
no
don't spend
bills?
money. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was just making money. I mean, I probably still had to pay some tax and stuff. Like at the end of the quarter, you've got
Yeah.
more than you should, and then you got to pay 50 grand bass.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had the money there, and yeah, I moved it into a platform called FTX, and bought some Bitcoin with it. I think I had 8 Bitcoin, 100 grand of Solana, and then some Ethereum. And it was just sitting there. It was just like my investment thing. I was like, if it's going to sit in the bank, it might as well sit on this platform and be held in Bitcoin. And it was all going smoothly. It started dropping a lot, to be honest. It was already like halved. So my investment was like 350 or 300 at the time. And then, woke up and he sent me a message. He's like, oh, did you check FTX? Can you log in? Tried to log in, couldn't. Then it came up on the news. Some fuckwits embezzled $9 billion through FTX. So they shut the whole platform down. You haven't been able to log in since, and they're trying to get the money back. So, long story short, what was originally a $650,000 investment on a platform, the platform is now just you can't log into it. So that was gone. But I've always had this hope that I'd get it back for some reason. Like normally you don't get your money back on these type of
So
scams.
it taught me through, give me an idea of when you go try to log in on the platform and then you look on the news and see that this bloke's stolen $9 billion. Talk me through, what's your mindset here? You just like, nah, this can't be true? Or like, what are you thinking?
I think I just pestered my mate Jesse through text messages and phone calls. Like, what does this mean for us? And he must have calmed me down a bit. He's like, look, it'll work out, ideally. And everyone that I speak to now calls me an idiot because you're meant to put them on cold wallets.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing, and I fucking lose everything. So I can't go to the shops without losing a phone.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put my life saving on a USB.
Yeah.
I'd rather blame some other dickhead.
Well, don't worry. I've probably got a worse story than that. Or it's not actually. No, it's not worse. It's absolutely not worse. But 2014, I was working at my parents' own athlete's foot store. I was working in the store. Some bloke comes in and starts telling us about this thing that's, it's going to be the next Bitcoin. It was called Dogecoin.
Oh, yeah?
So I bought $150 worth, thinking, oh, yeah, like whatever, who cares? $150, don't care. Sort of bought it on the work computer, like didn't really understand how the wallets worked or anything. Didn't even really, just sort of like transferred $150 to something and just sort of, oh, yeah, I can see the numbers on the screen. Gets to 2020 or whatever year it was, Dogecoin goes to the moon. Thanks, Elon Musk. That $150 at one point was worth $1 million.
Really?
I can't get it. It's gone.
Really?
Yeah, it's
gone.
gone.
Can't log in?
Nah. Well, I don't know. I bought it on the work computer. Didn't really It's still there. Like if I type in I've got the wallet code and stuff. If I type it, it's still there. But I've asked numerous people about it, and it's not worth that much anymore. But yeah, got to about $1 million at one stage, which is an absolute stitch up. I would be sitting here, but I'd be doing different things in my life. Yeah. But yeah, so interesting. We've all had our crypto story, hey?
Yeah, I think everyone's got a crypto story.
But okay, so like you've just done your ass. You've just done 600K. Is there an update to the story? Like he's in jail with P Diddy, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, they're cellmates together.
That's hilarious.
That's so crazy. Are they actually?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy. I just made that up.
Yeah. Oh,
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure. Someone told me that the other day.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They are.
100% they're cellmates.
Just got thumbs up.
That's hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah, so he's in jail. They found a lot of it because that's
what I was going to say. How do you spend $9 billion?
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. I don't think he spent it. It's all through loopholes. Like obviously they're smarter than us, so they know what they're doing to steal money. But he got caught. So the good news is they found a lot of the assets. So they found a lot of the Bitcoin, and because Bitcoin's gone up so much in value since then, they're now able to pay a lot of it back. So we should be getting maybe 250 to 300 grand back, which is quite nice.
Okay. But it's annoying because it's probably worth 4 million.
Yeah, I think it is worth close to 2 million. So if you wanted to count how much that is, the sunken cost or whatever, but I try not to think about that.
Yeah.
Too often.
They just make more. It's fine.
Just make more. And
that's
it was
the mentality.
It took me a while to tell Asha because I was pretty nervous. Not that we weren't married or anything at the time, but we were sort of serious, and we weren't sharing banks, so it didn't really bother her. But it was sort of our future, right? Like it was our nest egg, and could buy a nice house with it if it was all going well. And I had to tell her, I was like, oh, babe, just let you know, just lost some money over the weekend. And
she's probably thinking, oh, did you go to the races or
something?
The races, playing the pokies.
I wish. Yeah. And then she just said the best thing ever. She's like, oh, that's all right. You'll make it back. And that's what she said to me, and I was like, cool, I've got a winner there. So that was
I
really
love
cool.
that.
Like she's,
Sometimes little like throwaway comments, like realistically, like if you probably asked her now about it, I don't know it that well, so I would be just assuming, but it's probably just a throwaway comment and her way of dealing with, oh my God, I can't believe you've done that.
yeah, exactly.
But that is like your thing of that's a little bit of motivation to go and, oh,
Yeah.
sweet, I'll make it back. I'll
yeah,
make more.
it back. Yeah, make more. And that was the mentality is, all right, looks like we're just digging in again. You know, it was a lot of money. I'm not saying as if like I had that laying around and spare, like that was my life savings.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not as if I had extra.
Yeah.
So I was really back to square one after working so hard for so long. Like, it was pretty devastating to get to that stage. But yeah, I just sort of didn't dwell on it. I just always had hope that it would come back, and then just work hard to make more, because what's being a victim going to do about it? You just make more, right?
That's that growth mindset again.
And then, we did well over the next few years. The gyms were still going quite well. Sold one or two of them. I think I sold.
Yeah, so talk us through that, because that was pretty creative, right? Like you sort of sold them and then have this licensing model, so it's kind of franchise out.
Yeah, because I started getting to the stage where it was like, it is getting hard to motivate staff all the time, because it's a very front-facing business where you've got staff members that they're seeing your clients for you. And if they leave, it always leaves a massive hole in the business. So I really needed to come up with a way to keep them motivated to want to be part of it. And there's only so long you can do that if there's no financial incentive.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting my manager of Waterloo at the time.
So are these people you're hiring as managers, are they like studying? Are they qualified S&Cs? How's it sort of work?
Most of them, just trainers. Like Dan was at Waterloo before I got there, so I inherited him, which was really nice, because he's been, a blessing in disguise that whole time. He's been great. So he ended up buying 20% of Waterloo, which was nice. Bit of cash injection for me, and he's pretty happy. And then Brady came with Waterloo too, so I inherited him, and he now is North Sydney.
Okay.
And then Couchy, who owns half of Darlinghurst and half of North Sydney now, I picked him up in Bali in a retreat. He came over for a retreat. I just vibed with him. I was like, you're a good dude. He was a landscaper at the time, didn't have any qualifications. And I said, we're going to do some cool shit together at some stage in our life.
Sick.
Got back, I messaged him. I said, how fast can you get your Cert 3 and 4? And he's like, oh, really? And he jumped at it. So he's been a legend. He's been a big part of the success of BBB.
Yeah, awesome.
And now he owns two of the gyms. So
yeah, cool. And then what about, so I don't know how we can cut this out if you want, but like in terms of Bondi, you took a lot of your like loyal members from Paddington across to a new gym in Bondi Junction.
Yeah, we had to, because it was shutting down. They had a building demolition clause on Paddington, which was sad. We knew it was happening from the start, but it came around eventually, and we found a site in Bondi Junction, epic site. And the manager of Paddington at the time, because I was busy with Waterloo, North Sydney, Kaizen, I was doing a lot of stuff. So the incentivization there, he was meant to have 20%, me 80, and he talked me into going 51-49 to him. And I was like, cool. Obviously, you're pretty confident in yourself that you'll make it work. Took everyone across to Bondi, did really well for the first year, got pretty close to $1 million, I think, in rev. And then that was when we decided to move down to Stanmore Park.
Yep.
An hour out of Sydney.
So so what was the mindset of, is it just a bigger property on better land?
Property, yeah. We just moved down there because it just seemed like a good lifestyle. It was pretty expensive to live in Sydney, and I was sort of wanted to have some land, move near the water and surf a bit more.
Okay, because it's a big move, right? Considering your whole businesses and everything.
Yeah, probably not the smartest move either.
Yeah,
like, it's definitely put a massive strain on business since then, because I can't get in as much. Like I've got to leave at 4 o'clock if I want to be in at 5 a.m. to then start the class. So I haven't been able to coach. And then just the thought of driving in to not really do anything, just to work from the office, I've stopped coming in as much, and the business definitely strained. So Bondi was strained because Harry would go AWOL as well. Okay. So I wasn't there and he wasn't there. Waterloo's done okay because Dan was there, and Dan runs it like it's his business. Yeah, yeah. The manager of the Bondi just went a bit loopy, and he just sort of let it fall apart, and it got resentful. I think he was resentful for me not coming in, even though that was part of the deal, was that he would run it like it was his. Yeah. I think he resented the fact that I wasn't there, so he just let it go to shit, and we parted ways.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. So then I guess a lot of the members, are they asking when's the next BBB coming? Is that sort of ended up in a tough situation now?
We only really did this last November, so it's not been that long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Bondi was running as a BBB for a while.
Yeah.
And it was going quite well. And then we were going to be opening up Darlinghurst because Couchy and Brady wanted to open up a second one. They were going to open up in Darlinghurst. So it was actually not a bad idea. And everyone was pretty happy. And then timings worked out so that, Harry and I went our separate ways. He was going to actually buy it off me. So he bought it off me and was going to run it as a BBB for 12 months. And then within about 2 months, he started just doing all this sneaky stuff behind the scenes and rebranded it and just hasn't emailed me back since. So so it's with the lawyers at the moment.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's a big lesson.
Okay, well, let's change it up a little bit. Let's talk about a little bit about, I guess, mentors and different things and just different support networks. Like, we touched a little bit on how you, like, the support that your wife has given you and different things. But, like, can you talk about some, and I guess with mentors, we spoke a little bit about your client that is loaded.
Yeah, he's
loaded. But can you give us an idea into how you lean into mentors and how some different mentors have sort of, help frame your life?
Yeah, so I've paid for mentors early on. Like, I don't like it. Obviously, seeing money come out of your account, but it's just a necessary evil for growth, I think, because as soon as that money leaves your account, you're not just paying for the information they've got, you're paying essentially to level up. Like, that's the way I see it, is like you're making that conscious decision to take money out of your account and put it into energy that's going to make you next level. So early on, I did it a lot. I was like, cool. I went from mentorship to mentorship, and it just always returned. How
are you finding these people? Are you just going, I'm not skilled in this area, I want to upskill? Or
and then once you start sort of speaking to people, they've had mentors. Like, there started being specific gym mentors. So there was one that I paid for, I think it was like 24 grand, and then went straight into another one, which is like
24 grand. Over how long?
Over a year. It's pretty expensive. Like, they're charging $2,000 a month.
How regimented are the programs and things? Are you having to do a lot of work off the back of it, I'm guessing?
Well, that's the thing. Like, the first one you do, you obviously get a lot of gain out of it, and then it starts to become marginal gains over that because they cross over a lot.
Yeah.
Everyone starts to do their own little thing. It's like training. Like, gyms are all essentially the same thing, but there's just people that do slightly different. And then so with business, I was like, a lot of them aren't really hitting the mark, and you're getting a few gold nuggets out of it, but it's a lot of time. You've got to go to these Zoom calls, and then you've got to do these work after, which was fine.
Yeah.
But then, you start to realize there's a gap in the market, and that's why we started Kaizen, because we're like, we can sort of do a fair bit of the work for you, and you can focus on this, and we'll coach you on the rest of it.
Yeah, cool.
So it worked out quite well.
Well, that's that growth mindset again, right? You're finding, utilizing, different people that are professionals in that field, essentially, and found your own little
pocket.
Yeah, your own little pocket to sort of carve up into.
But these days I haven't done too much like structured mentorship. These days I just seek out friends that are doing things, because friends are always happy to talk to you and level up as well. Like, you find someone that's good at property and you start speaking to them about it. So that's usually what I do, is try and be the dumbest person in the room, as cliche as that is. Like, find friends that are making way more money than you, or not. It's not always about money either. Like, just a skill set or a vibe, and you're like, cool. If I hang around you long enough, something's going to rub off on me, and I'm going to pick something up and make my life better.
Absolutely. Is that like so? And I want to touch a little bit on this in terms of like refreshing the mind and stuff. But you've taken on like a skill such as surfing. You started that a couple of years ago?
Yeah, as an adult.
Yeah, so like and I'm guessing you would have hated not being able to do it at the start.
It was so
so that's what I mean. Like that, you wanted to win at this straight away. So is it like leveling up and finding? So I'm not just talking about business mentors, but you've found mates that surf and things like that.
So I'm hanging around mates that surf and made that part of my life to hang out with.
Did you get lessons or anything? Or you just jump up? I love it.
Too arrogant to get lessons.
Yeah.
No, I really would have. It's sort of like just never really had the time to do it. So like, it's a weird sport. You can't practice that much. It's not like snowboarding where if you spend an hour on the slopes, you're going to get an hour's worth of thing.
Yeah.
For the
you might get 3 waves.
First 9 months, I reckon I would spend most of my time paddling out and getting fucking dumped. And then once you can paddle, then you can you get your breath back, and you're too tired to even catch waves, even let alone get them. And the waves have got to be good on the day that you go. So it was like probably a good solid 6 months before I even caught a wave, and I was just get out of the water.
Yeah.
Just go back in the water.
Yeah, that repetition.
Yeah,
right?
Get the reps in. So
yeah, cool. How you going now? All right? You're right?
Okay, I can stand up and move around. I'm starting to turn now. So it's good fun. I did 10 days in the Maldives last year because I was like, that came up and I was like, 10 days in the Maldives, 10 days of good waves straight. you're going to get pretty good if you do that.
Yeah, sick.
So that helped.
Love that. Cool. That's another way. Like, I guess your mindset was like, oh, it might be, go get on the piss for 10 days and go surfing on a surf trip. But your mindset was like, no, I'm going to go there and get better.
Yeah, get better at surfing. Yeah. Really wanted to get better at surfing.
Yeah, sick. Mate, what's next for Brando Hasick? So, like, you're a big person on goals. Since I've known you, you've been big on goals. You write them down every year. Can you give us an insight on that? A little bit in how you approach that in your process. So, like, is it set a 12-month goal, then bring it down into 6 months, 3 months, 3 week, whatever? How do you sort of go about this? Because this is something that you've been a strength of yours.
Yeah, I try to do that, but I'm very big picture. Like, I just set stupid goals thinking that they're not going to come true, but know that they are.
Okay.
Like, I just know that they are. So it's like I sort of always set things like one at the moment is I'm going to have a farm, like a little hobby farm, like a ranch that I want to get, like 100 acres, and just for the kids for now. And eventually I'm going to turn it into a bit of a retreat where I have a gym and some people can come and train there and rent it out to gym owners so that they can bring their clients too, because I think that's a really cool thing. So that's my big vision at the moment. But it's always one of my favorite quotes is, what's your thoughts? Because your thoughts become your words, and your words become your actions become your destiny. And that's always just been, once I saw that quote, it didn't change my life, but I was like, that's what I resonate with, because I'm always thinking about something that I want to achieve. I don't actually then go and break it down into little chunks. I just sort of figure out along the way, because I'm just constantly thinking about it.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. So is that little bit of manifestation?
Without being woo-woo, it's just like all day, every day, I'm just thinking about it, and by thinking about it, obviously you speak to people, and then the actions become your destiny. Like, even last week I was like, I've probably got to start, not last week, like before we spoke, like literally a few days before we spoke, I was like, I need to start doing more stuff where I'm getting like a bigger network, because your network becomes your net worth.
Absolutely.
And then it was just funny, you're like, I'm going to do a podcast, I'm like, bang, done, like tap in your network now, and it's just things pop up the more you're thinking about them.
Yeah.
And you're just looking for opportunities that will eventually lead to that goal.
Yeah, cool. Love that. So I guess in terms of right now, you've sort of transitioned a little bit into business plus family.
Yep.
Is the family growing more? Is there plans to do that? Is there is life going to slow down a little bit, or are you looking to go big and bigger?
Yeah, I think it'll slow down. I found it hard with the gyms to get in there and grow them. I just don't have the desire and the energy to put into growing teams, and obviously you need teams. So consolidated the teams and the gyms a little bit now. We've got our Kaizen, which I can just sort of manage with me, my business partner, and a few assistants.
Yeah.
So right now is probably see how much we can squeeze out of the business consulting, because we haven't tapped into it that much, and it's not going to require too much more work to scale it.
Yep.
So that's probably the biggest focus now. And then the next thing is, work out some investments so I can get this farm.
Love it.
And just tap into that.
You started that in terms of, I know exactly where you're going to go with this, but you've just bought a place in Melbourne.
Yeah.
How did that come about? It would have been through talking to someone about something.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I did an investment with a mate of mine like 2 years ago. He was like, okay, he wanted to sell half of his investment, which should have been a red flag from day one, but he was pumped it up to be like, if you put 200 in, you'll probably pull 350 out next year. Obviously fucking didn't pull 350 out. I pulled about 180 out. Okay. So I was 20 grand in the hole, which wasn't too bad in the scheme of things, but a bit annoying. So I'm just the worst investor ever. And I was like, cool, finally got some money. I've been reading up about like property's obviously not the fastest way to get rich, but you can do pretty well for yourself.
It's probably the safest.
Safest in terms of like
long term,
and started speaking to people, and then I just bit the bullet. And this time I was like, I'm going to just pay a company. I read a book called The Armchair Investor, and I was like, I like them. I listened to their podcast. So I jumped on with them, and they just took it from the whole thing. They're like, here's how much you can borrow. Here's what you can buy. Here's where you should buy. And they just did it. Here's the cash. Don't even know where it is really, but I'm just trusting.
You couldn't even remember the suburb.
Yeah, I don't even know the suburb. So, but I was like, look, I want to just invest and get in the game. And we bought an investment property in Melbourne.
Nice, mate. Congrats.
Thanks.
Cool. Mate, that's sort of me, but I've got 3 rapid fire questions I want to ask you off the back just to finish up. If you could swing back to talk to 16-year-old Brando, what would you tell him?
As in advice, or
Just if 16-year-old Brando walked in the room right now, what is something you would tell him?
ooh, that's a hard question, hey.
Can be advice, can be strap yourself in,
probably,
kid.
Yeah.
Don't put your money in FTX.
Yeah. It's funny, like, you know,
Put it
the
in
Simpsons
CoinSpot.
episode where you go back and change something and then it changes the whole course of your life.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
wonder if you don't want to sort of change anything because everything's worked out and everything is going to work out. So I definitely wouldn't say to change anything. It would just be, probably, I think, I haven't partied too much, but I think I've definitely sort of probably, drank a lot over the years and like done that. But I've, that's led to great mates and great relationships and networking.
And opportunities, yeah.
Yeah, it'd probably just be to back yourself and, just make sure you hang on for the ride.
Love it. Cool. What's your go-to cheat meal?
Chicken and cheese from Macca's.
You had that when you walked in earlier.
I was like, oh, a little snack.
Oh, I love that.
Pizza, burgers would be definitely cheat meal.
So, do you play much golf?
I used to. I'm getting back into it.
Okay.
I like
You're going to play golf. Golf you're playing a foursome.
Yep.
Your dream golf foursome. So, dead or alive, you and 3 others. I'm carrying the bags. So
yeah, coming to me and 3 others. So I can't bring you.
No, I'm a caddy.
All right, caddy. Who do we bring? Robin Williams.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, I really like him.
That's
I like
easily the quirkiest answer I've had so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
And you have using stitches laughing.
You'd just be laughing the whole time, yeah. Matt McConaughey. Always wanted to meet him. He'd be cool. And then on the spot, I don't know who to think of for number 4. I thought about this the other day and I was like, if someone ever asked me that, that's who I'd say. And now I've fully gone mind blank. But yeah, maybe Rupee, my little boy.
Love that.
Yeah.
The boys can play alternate shot.
Yeah, you can just ask me stupid questions. Probably piss me off by the 3rd hole, but it'd be pretty cute.
Nah, awesome. Well, he told you he's going to be the best golfer ever,
He
isn't he?
did?
Yeah, I love that. All good. Mate, super grateful for you coming through. I've really enjoyed this chat. Loved hearing about your story and the mindset, and mate, I've taken a lot from it, so I appreciate you.
Thanks,
mate.
yeah,
Cheers, mate. Bye.